Good morning, happy Thursday. You should have at this time already completed side A and side B of your sprint for today. Now you're watching your lesson in order to prepare to do lesson 10, problem set, and then you'll go off and practice on Zern. Today, your goal is to use place value understanding to round multi-digit numbers to any place value using real-world applications. That just means like real-world problems, right? So we're going to practice a couple of different things today, but before we get started, I want you to make sure that you notice what place you're rounding to, because you're rounding the same number to the thousands, then the 10,000s, then the 100,000s place. I also want you to notice how in your problem set, they don't really give you much space if you need a number line. If you need a number line, that's perfectly fine. I'll be using a number line today. You can use your whiteboard marker and eraser or extra paper and a pencil to be able to do that. Then down here, I want you to notice how you're rounding to the nearest 100, the nearest 100, 100, then 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 10,000. So notice that pattern there so that you're not rounding to the incorrect part. So you should finish all of page 148, and I want you to do at least 3 and 4 today. You don't need to do 5 or the rest of your packet if you got that. Okay, so all of page 148. If you feel like this is really overwhelming and you're not sure, then I want you to you can eliminate for now F, I, and L, and that's it. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to round to the nearest, hopefully this will clear up, there we go, round to the nearest 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000. But I'm going to round this same number, and I'm going to round 382,406 to the nearest 1,000 first. So I'll write it here again. Then to the nearest 10,000. Then to the nearest 100,000. Okay, I like to use a number line every time. It just helps me to make sure I'm organized and that I'm thinking reasonably. I have like evidence to support my ideas. All right, so now I'm running to the nearest 1,000. So I have to put myself in like the 1,000 mindset. Blah. I have to ask myself how many total thousands there are. Sometimes I hear the mistake that there are just 2,000s, but in this particular problem, there are 382,000s. Then I need to ask myself, what is 1,000 more? And I know the only place it's going to increase is my thousands place. So 383,000. Then I need to find my midpoint. I can kind of look at between 2,000 and 3,000 will be 2,500. So between 382,000 and 383,000 will be 382,500. And I can see that this 400 would fall below or less than the 382,500. So I can round it right here, and I can see that 382,406 rounds to 382,000 because it falls in the bottom half of my number line. Oops. Rounded to the nearest 1,000. All right, now I'm no longer rounding to just the thousands place, so I got to change my mindset again. Now I'm rounding to the nearest 10,000. And so again, just as we practice in class, if it's easier for you to see it in your place value chart, then use that. Use what you need. That's totally fine. I can see that there are 38 total 10,000s, not just 8. And so I know my bottom benchmark number is going to be 380,000. Now I need to ask myself, What is 1/10,000 more? Well, I know that my 10,000th place is right here. And so 1/10,000 more is going to change this digit 8 to a 9. So I know it'll be 390,000. Next, I have my midpoint. Halfway between 380 and 390 is 385,000. Oh, and I can see 382,000 is definitely going to be less. It's going to be probably like a little bit closer to this side. 382,406 rounded to the nearest 10,000 will be 380,000 because it falls in the bottom half of my number line. Now I can see that when I rounded to the nearest 1,000, it rounded to 382,000, which goes to the thousands place, and the rest of my digits are 0. I can see when rounded to the nearest 10,000, my digits go to the, 10,000s place, and the rest are zeros. That is really important for me to notice. Next, I'm going to round to the nearest 100,000. Yay! And now I know my total number of 100,000s is 3. So my bottom benchmark number will be 300,000. Just like I'm sure you're thinking, I'm going to ask myself, what is the next 100,000? So the only place that's going to change is this 3 to a 400,000. Awesome. Now I know my midpoint is 350,000. And I can see that 382,406 will be right up here because it's definitely greater than 350. And so I can see 382,406 rounded to the nearest 100,000 is 400,000. So I can see when I round the same number to different places, it rounds to different numbers. So I need to be really careful to make sure that I'm moving strategically just like I did here and paying very close attention to my work. Right, I have one more example for you, and we're going to just practice rounding to the nearest 100. I'm going to do 3,405. All right, so when I round to the nearest 100, just like we were practicing with even larger numbers, I need to ask myself, how many total hundreds do I have? And it can't just be my hundreds place. Remember, I scoop all that comes before it. So I can see that there are 34 total hundreds, or 3,400 as my bottom benchmark number. Here, since I'm rounding to the nearest 100, I ask myself, what is 100 more? And I know that this 4 would change to a 5, so 3,500 is my next benchmark number. Now I ask myself, what is exactly halfway between 3,400 and 3,500? And I know that's 3,450, halfway between 400 and 500 there. Now I can easily see that this 3,405 is going to be really close to this number down here. And I can say that 3,405 rounded to the nearest 100 is 3,400 because it falls in the bottom half of my number line. All right, there you have it, kiddos. Make sure that you're paying very close attention to what you're rounding to and that you use a number line if you need it. I like to use it. And if you get it wrong, then you're going to have to redo it with all your number lines. So if you feel like you need it, be honest with yourself and just do what you need. Have a great day.